South Africa, and a very warm welcome to you. This is your Wednesday edition of Afternoon Express, and my name is Sanisa Ende. Now today on the show we've got one that is
South
so
Africa,
exciting,
and a very warm welcome to you.
Wednesday. This is your Wednesday edition of Afternoon Express, and my name is Sanisa Ende. Now today on the show we've got one that is so exciting, and a very warm welcome to you. This is your Wednesday edition of Afternoon Express, and my name is Sanisa Ende. Now today on the show we've got one that is so exciting, and a very warm welcome to you. This is your Wednesday edition of Afternoon Express.
So brave, but I set up a WhatsApp number. I said, hey, if you think we'd hit it off, or you have a friend and you think we'd hit it off, send in an intro video, tell me a bit about yourself, and let's try virtual dating out.
Oh my goodness, I'm here for it. A woman with a plan, that's what I'm all about. So number one, I mean, first of all, these videos, how many did you finally get? Who came streaming in? And were they like some little weirdos?
Oh, shame. There were interesting characters, I'm not going to lie. There were very interesting characters. I included some of them in the episode, so it's a 5-part series on my Instagram at I am Tamara Snow that you can go and check out. And we had quite a few entries. I had my friends who were judges also a part of it, so they helped me sift through them and find people that they thought I could actually find a connection with.
Girlfriend, you had a panel of judges deciding essentially who you end up with. I don't know if I have anyone in my life that I trust that much. Who was on your panel?
So I had my very good friend, K-Easy, who's on the afternoon drive.
Yeah, he's on right now, in fact.
I know. So he was on the panel, and he knows me very well from a career point of view. My brother was on the panel as well. So from a family point of view, he knows that side of me as well. And then I had a couple of friends too. Okay. So a nice mix of people who know different sides of me and could help a girl out.
Because sometimes it does go to say, you know, sometimes if you can't make decisions for yourself, our loved ones, you know, they're able to suss out and eye out who'd really be good for us. So girl, at the end of the day, tell me there was light at the end of this tunnel.
That light was bright, friend. Let me just tell you, that light was shining very brightly. I am proud to say, and really from my heart, so happy to say that I managed to find a meaningful connection in this crazy virtual online dating world during lockdown.
I mean, real tears. That is gorgeous. Is that you and Mr. Mans?
That is indeed.
First of all, Naze, not cute. Hashtag Bay vibes. I'm here for it. I mean, I was also there on the beach, just the third wheel there. So cute. What is it about Mr. Man that just drew you in?
I think for me, number one, important in a partner, number one is that you are interested in self-growth. Self-growth needs to be at the top of your list because baby girl is changing, she is moving, and you need to be doing the same thing, you know? So self-growth is very important to me. Also somebody who is kind, who's compassionate, who's supportive, and who is strong in themselves and not threatened by a strong woman.
Listen, because you are a whole lot of women and we are here for that. Now, Tamara Snow is going to be joining us throughout the show. I want to find out more about your I Am movement. And you know, it's as much as we're finding love, it's also important to feed yourself that self-love. So thank you so much for coming through. I'm definitely looking forward to how you feed yourself that love as well, girlfriend. Now on social media, you know, we are speaking about love online. I mean, meeting people hasn't been the same since COVID. So have you tried online dating and how did it go? Use that hashtag Afternoon Express in all of your comments. But coming up, we've got a new Tropica Icy lyric game. And of course, we're going to be touching base with Robyn Ashdown about her line, TOMBOT LTD.
The other day, Junior with the big hair went for a haircut.
Smooth. Things were looking good.
Until the power cut out.
Not smooth.
But don't worry, he called it a half pineapple.
And now it's a trend. Nothing smoother.
Tropica.
Made with love by Clover.
Welcome back to the show where I am ready to give you the surprise that I've been lining up since the beginning of the show. Now, with the last summer days of heat waves and fun in the sun, we can't think of a better way to keep things cool and refreshed than with a new summer essential, Tropica Icy. Speaking of staying refreshed and keeping cool, these Tropica Icies will definitely come in handy to cool things down as we are about to heat things up in our Icy lyrics game. Now, you might be wondering why Tumi and Nicole are back-to-back willing to battle this thing out. I mean, it's the height difference for me, but besides the height difference, this is how the game is going to work. Tumi and Nicole will pull out a paper from the bowl which consists of phrase, and you will have to use this phrase in your song. In the second bowl, in the blue bowl, you will of course pick out a genre of music that you have to sing along with your phrase. And your genre of music could be anything from pop, classical, rap, rock, or rap. Anything goes. Now, ladies, we will ask our viewers then to help us vote for who they think did best. And the winner walks away with the title of Icy Queen. Now, Tumi, you're going to go first. Okay. Then, Nicole, you are going to go second. But both of you are going to pick out a phrase and a genre at the same time. So can I get a little bit of a mood music thing going on, you know, a little bit of suspense. Ladies, here is a blue bowl and a red bowl. The blue bowl again has genres and the red bowl has a phrase. Whatever phrase you pick, you have to incorporate that phrase in the genre of music. Ladies, let's see what you have chosen. Thank you so much. Right, Dumi, you have got the genre pop and your phrase is icebreaker. Nicole, let's see what you have picked. Your genre is rock music and your phrase is let's keep it chilled. So ladies, I hope you've got a little something in mind. Are you ready? You feeling confident? I'm going to give you guys a few more seconds because I know this ain't hard. I see you ladies thinking about something.
I was worried I'd have to throw my name away today.
But
I've already done that.
well, here is to throwing away our name, our dignity, our respect in this game. Dumi, you're up first, girlfriend, as our resident chef. Again, let's remind Mzansi, your genre is pop and your lyric is icebreaker.
That is correct. Icebreaker. Icebreaker. You're my icebreaker. Icebreaker. You're my icebreaker. I drink some drinks. I need some ice. Hey, you're my icebreaker. Ooh, icebreaker. Hey. Icebreaker. You're my icebreaker.
She's had enough now.
I love that. And scene. Sasha Fierce ain't got nothing on our girl Dumi. I mean, congratulations. How you feeling?
Now I'm nervous. I mean, I didn't know you had that in you.
Well, girl, I keep it locked.
Girl, you keep it icy even better. I love the fact that, Dumi's song, I already had I'm in my car, I'm listening it on the radio, as Tamara Snow is busy. Next, we've got Dumi with Icebreaker. Love that. Let's see if Nicole can also get up there on the radio waves. Nicole, you ready, girl? Let's remind our viewers, you chose rock as your genre, and the phrase is, let's keep it chilled. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Woo. Hey.
Sing along with me. Let's keep it chill. Let's keep it chill. Let's cool it down. Let's keep it chill. Let's go lower the temperature. Keep it cool. Keep it cool. Keep it cold. Keep it fresh and make it even colder.
As it goes.
Keep it chill.
Okay. I see what you ladies did there. I mean, first of all, just being such incredible sports. Hats off to you. It's all about having fun here on Afternoon Express and keeping things icy with Tropica. So, Mzansi, this is your turn. Let us know who you are feeling. Who did better? Is it our pop princess chef Dumi, or of course is it our rock and roll sensation, Nicole Austin? Now, Nicole, I'm sure your kids right now are like, is that mommy?
Yes, I'm actually most afraid of my children's criticism right now.
I love that. Now, ladies, I'm very, very excited for you because the winner, whoever that winner is going to be walking away with a Tropica Icy for their very selves, okay? So, the stakes are very, very high. Thank you so much, ladies, for always joining me and having fun.
The other day, Junior with the big hair went for a haircut.
Smooth. Things were looking good.
Until the power cut out.
Not smooth.
But don't worry, he called it a half pineapple.
And now it's a trend. Nothing smoother.
Tropica.
Made with love by Clover.
Fitness Fanatic, Philanthropist and Entrepreneur Robyn Ashdown launched her very own feminine sports apparel label as a platform for feminine empowerment. Now she joins me now in studio to share her incredible story. Robyn, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
I'm very excited to touch base with you because South Africa already knows this about me, so it's no secret. I am lazy AF. So now it's so lovely to find someone who is fit AF, fit as femme. I mean, what encouraged you to start getting fit, getting healthy, and getting into your body?
So I've always been a fitness fanatic. I'm one of those weirdos that had health problems growing up. And I always had to be very conscious of what I was putting in my body. I did end up hurting my back very, very badly when I was in my late teens. And instead of going for a huge operation and destroying what I think was perfectly built, I had to find a way to turn my body into my own brace. So fitness became a very, very key function for me in order to be able to do a normal thing such as walking.
That decision as a kid must have been very difficult. I mean, having to decide what to do with your body going forward, that essentially is going to change the trajectory of your life. I mean, imagine if you had gone for that operation. It's crazy to think.
I was very fortunate. My mom was very conscious of, what to do to look look after yourself. And I think it was a very important thing for her, for all of us, to be aware of how we look after ourselves, how we exercise, how we look, how we treat our bodies. You know, because at the end of the day, we are blessings, all of us.
Yeah.
And we need to respect that. You know, respect your body, you're going to have a good life. That's really the way it works out in the long run.
Let's get into just your transitioning within the fitness world. I mean, you ended up going into weightlifting and. I mean, talk about an overachiever, truly going the extra mile. I mean, so what was that all about, and how did you get into that world?
So I actually started off as a kid. You know, your parents throw you into every activity, right? So I had netball, soccer, tennis, swimming, and dancing. So dancing was just my absolute passion. I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
Here we go. See?
Little dancers here connecting.
I fell in love with it, and that was how I hurt my back. So the discovery phase of working through turning my body into my own brace, working with a bio, we were doing a lot of squats and lifting kettlebells and whatnot. And next thing he had me doing weightlifting exercises, recommended that I join a weightlifting gym.
Wow.
Yeah, so I started doing weightlifting, and then I discovered CrossFit, so I kind of got the best of everything in one. Yeah, and you know.
Talk about truly pushing the limits of your body. So what are some of just the health benefits of having an active lifestyle, being and living within your body? I mean, how are people, especially just the average South African, able to connect with that and dramatically change their lives?
Honestly, I don't get sick. I don't ever really feel tired. I'm one of those people that I get up at 4:30 in the morning, I'll go for a run, I'll exercise, get home, have my coffee, shower, change, and then only start work. And that's all before 8 a.m. You know, so I don't know, I feel like I can always just keep going.
Yeah. So essentially, you know, you've got a boost in energy throughout the day. I can only imagine that immune system. You said you haven't been sick in a very long time.
No, even with COVID, like, you know, I've got underlying conditions in that I've got pernicious anemia, so my body doesn't absorb B12. You know, that makes your red blood cells, and that's what helps you heal.
That's what we need, B12, okay.
Yeah. But even having that, because I'm so stringent around my fitness and maintaining my health, I haven't had any issues. I've been cautious and whatnot, but you know, like sitting here with you is fine for me. I'm quite comfortable with that because I know that I'm very, very healthy.
But now moving into the fashion side of it. So you said, you know what, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a this, I'm a that, and also you're just all about empowering females. You decided to put your name on clothing and give us something feminine to kind of work out in.
100%, but also something comfortable and functional, right?
Very important. I want to get into the fashion then. Let's see it. Let's see what Robyn has decided to put together for us as women working out, but I also know you do have something for the men too.
Yeah, we have a few secret things on our websites for the men. There's some barbells as well if they want to find those. But when it came to the female stuff, it's really, you know, trying to diversify. So we've got so many cultures in South Africa, right? If you look at our beautiful Muslim culture, you can't go to a gym in a nice pair of 3/4 or shorts. They need the full length. So I wear the full lengths. They're actually my favorite, funny enough. You know, so we've got the full length options. We have the different types of styling on tops with different materials. A lot of the focus was making sure that it was comfortable for us. Because you're the one who's wearing it, right? So ensuring that the fit was there, the support is there, that the pants aren't riding up if you're wearing a pair of shorts.
Yes.
That they're not folding down.
That they're not folding down or rolling up. You have to have everything intact when you're working out.
Okay, well, also my theory is that if you could sit on a couch and lounge around all day in that, then you know it's going to be comfortable when you're training in it too. So it was really just trying to diversify that as much as possible. The materials as well, as I said. So the worst thing is when you do go to a gym or you're wearing this pair of leggings and you do a squat, they become a bit transparent.
Oh yes, that's also something that happens. Absolutely.
Yeah, quite often. So we spent a lot of time focusing on materials, and then you know with the design as well, the designs have been tweaked quite a few times to just make sure that they suit that comfort.
You seem to have almost something for everyone, from your hoodies, your crop tops, to those little, what do they call it, the racer bag? The racer bags. I love that about you. I mean, what message do you have for anyone out there who wants to kind of diversify, not only diversify their brand, but just what they do on a daily basis and adding exercise and fitness into their routine?
So honestly, I believe that you're capable of anything. And in particular with females, we were born to be queens.
Yeah.
So for me, it's all about just embracing your power and accepting that. You know, you've got so much strength in you, and it's the first thing you got to do is just start.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, here's to starting, although we're not finished with you, because you're going to be putting me through my paces in a little bit of a workout a little later. So South Africa, I mean, what an inspiration Robyn Ashdown is to all of our viewers. And of course, a strong-willed woman who never allowed her physical and medical limitations stop her from achieving her goals, and in the same time, starting a platform to empower others.
Nicole, don't you just love how they've made athleisure wear so fashionable? Like health and fitness nowadays is the thing.
Yes, it is all about health, fitness, wellness, anti-aging.
Okay.
But not just aging on the outside, but also aging on the inside. And we're going to talk to Dr. Duncan Carmichael about healthy aging for the immune system.
Oh, really? Well, all of that coming up.
Express yourself.
With age, the human immune system becomes less effective at tackling infections and less responsive to vaccinations. As a result of this, the aging immune system is associated with chronic inflammation, which increases the risk of almost all conditions linked to old age. But of course, with the right exercise, diet, and healthcare, you can help maintain healthy immunity into your old age. Today, we're going to be chatting to Dr. Duncan Carmichael from the Institute of Healthy Aging on how we can best care for our immune system as we age. We also have Nicole Austin joining us as the health correspondent. Now, Nicole, as we do discuss basically how the immune system sabotages us and goes against us as we age, it's so lovely to have you as a pharmacist, you know, just backing the conversation.
Well, I think as you get older, you immediately associate the word aging with your skin or your crow's feet. But it's so much deeper than that. It goes to your overall health. And I think this is such a critical conversation.
Absolutely. So let's dive straight into it with you, Dr. Carmichael. I mean, why is it that our immune system becomes less effective as we age?
Hi, team. Thanks for having me. So it's the immune system is a wonderful, complicated system, and we might often think of it as a scratchy throat, but really it sort of comes down to our white cells that run around the body, looking after the body and fighting infections as they come in. So as we age, there's a couple of things that can happen and start to go wrong. So in our 40s and 50s, our adrenal gland or our stress hormone gland can start to become a little tired. So things like working too hard, not sleeping enough, even over-exercising can lead to an adrenal, what we call insufficiency. And that often leads to the beginnings of more scratchy throats and immune system problems. But really, as we age further than that, in our 60s and 70s, our white cell counts, our bone marrow makes white cells, and the white cells go around and really get rid of nasty infections. Our white cell count from our bone marrow can start to drop off. And as that starts to drop off, we can have sort of real immune problems where we can't mount a good response against an attack from an infection.
Absolutely, and I think, Doctor, that is what a lot of people ignore, is the fact that it's not just the outer signs of aging, it's that deep cellular aging. And tell us, Doctor, what type of complications do we see with an aging or compromised immune system?
So, Nicole, we might start to see that we get a worsening of something where we have a slight weakness already. So if you start to get a sinus, if you have a sinus problem, you might find that you get a worsening of a sinus problem. It could be if you get skin rashes, eczema, you might start to get infected eczema. If you get bladder infections, you'll know your immune system's weakening because you're getting worsening or more recurrent bladder infections. So whatever our weaknesses, we notice that there's a worsening of it. So that's usually the first place that we notice that there are problems with the immune system.
Now, at the top of the conversation, you know, Nicole, I was speaking about this chronic inflammation. So, Doctor, can you please tell us more about this inflammation and what causes it?
So, Patty, inflammation is a very important part of our immune system. So, for example, if our throat is sore, it's inflamed. If we get a little bit of sunburn, that's the skin inflamed. And that's the first part of the immune system, sending out messages to the rest of the immune system, the white cells, to say, guys, come on in here, we've got a bit of work to do. However, if there is an overactive immune system or an overactive inflammation system, for example, myself, I'm asthmatic, so that's overactive inflammation in the lungs, then that can send out too robust a signal and the lungs can tighten. And so we've all heard of inflammation with COVID and an overactive inflammation system in COVID, and that's part of the same thing. A white cell or immune system that's being over-robust in its response to a problem.
Certainly, Doctor. You know, this buzzword inflammation, it's spoken about all the time and often overused but misunderstood. Can you tell us, how do we actually address this inflammation and treat it so that we have a better outcome with our health?
One of the best ways to look at things is to look after what we call our adrenal glands. So if we were to optimize our sleep, if we were to cut out sugars or perhaps too much coffee from our diet, if we were to do short, intense exercise as opposed to a long marathon, all of those things would start to reduce inflammation in the body. So our sleep, our eating habits, and our lifestyle things that we do would all reduce inflammation. That's all very important for all of us, because at the end of the day, I think the last year has highlighted that we want to be in optimal health so that if we do get infections, we can treat it and attack it in the right sort of way.
Now, Doctor, if this conversation is just sending those alarm bells to our viewers right now, what can those in their senior ages do to help with their aging immune system? I mean, is there a specific diet, exercise, or of course those health tricks that we should be looking at?
So I would suggest that, if necessarily looking at diet, the first thing to do, the easiest thing to do, is never drink a drink that's got calories in it. So anything with sugar in it is going to inflame us, and the easiest way to get our inflammation up is to drink calories. So if you don't like water, you'd have sparkling water. We try and avoid too much of the alcohol, too much of the fruit juices, too much of the fizzy juices would be the first thing. The next thing is we should really try and get that circadian rhythm right, where we are awake and happy and in sunshine a little bit in the day, and then at night time we're going to bed at the same time, sort of 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, getting our 8 hours sleep in, and waking up the next day, not going straight onto a computer and working, but getting outdoors and getting into the sunshine, which gets our whole circadian, healthy, anti-inflammatory rhythm going.
Well, you know, it seems like with great health comes great sacrifice as well. Thank you so much, Dr. Carmichael. I mean, Nicole, any final thoughts from you?
We all kind of know the right things to do, but I think this is so pertinent to remember why we're doing it, so that we can age healthily, so that we can get fewer infections as we age. So I think a healthy reminder to do what we know we should be doing.
Absolutely. Well, here is to cutting out those calories in our older age. Thank you so much, Dr. Carmichael. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Now, I'm very excited about this next part because, Nicole, our viewers should know very well about the 5,000 Rand that we're going to be giving away on a weekly basis. How excited does that make you on a weekly, just to say, you know what, nah, Mzansi, the money you need?
I think it's the perfect time of year, first of all, for South Africans to get an additional 5,000 Rand. But per week, that's something.
This is huge. So, Mzansi, if you want to find out how you can get in on this winning action, we want to find out from you, do you have a survival story? Well, then we want to hear from you. Share your survival story with us, from surviving a failed parachute to escaping a lion attack. We want to hear your story. Immuenza is giving away 5,000 Rand a week for 5 weeks. All you have to do is reply to the Immuenza competition post on the Afternoon Express Facebook page or Twitter page and tell us your survival story and what protected you using that hashtag Immuenza. The competition closes tonight at midnight, and terms and conditions can be found on afternoonexpress.co.za. Help support your immune system for your next big adventure with Immuenza.
Yes, 5,000. We are giving away 5,000, guys. Tamara, we're giving away 5,000. Tonight is the last day to enter South Africa, so you better make sure you go onto our Facebook page, our Instagram, make sure you enter, and you could win yourself 5,000 Rand. And Tamara, talking about aging, have you ever had any of those people online tell you the wrong age?
Listen, friend, they have not told me the wrong age that I'm aware of, but them filters, though. Why they gotta use them filters?
I know exactly. I've been down that road. I have done online dating. I won't tell you what the outcome of it was. However, I will tell you right now that after the break, Palesa will be put to her paces by Robyn. She'll be into some exercising stuff. I don't know if you exercise a lot?
I do. I actually really enjoy exercise. Nice. Cool.
All right, well, if you want to see Palesa sweat herself to a stupor, then you better join us after these.
Looking for fantastic health and weight loss benefits without a lifestyle change or being on a diet? Well, Shapeline 50 Billion from Proven Probiotics is the first ever probiotic to offer scientifically proven weight loss, while at the same time boosting immune and digestive health. That's why we think Shapeline 50 Billion may well be the world's most effective probiotic. Available at Dis-Chem and Clicks.
back in the loft with fitness fanatic and entrepreneur Robyn Ashdown, who's of course accompanied by her beautiful models, and they'll be demonstrating an easy-to-do chair workout routine which focuses on breathing. Now, can we please highlight, underline, italics, easy to do? Is it easy to do?
It is, it is. So first of all, the higher the chair, the easier it is. Number one little trick, ladies.
Love it.
Number two, it's something that depending how hard you want to work out, you can choose the level of skill set. So, you know, if you want a quick 5-minute, I did my exercise for the day while the like dinner's on, you know, just do 1 round. If you want to feel like you had a really hard workout, do 5 rounds and, I don't know, maybe skip or do some burpees in between. Apparently they're not too popular here.
No, we're not doing burpees in between. But at home, if you are feeling strong enough, I suppose, feel free. I love the fact that we can be flexible with our workouts, add and take away as we like.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think also if you think about it with COVID, a lot of us have been stuck at home, so we need to figure out how to be flexible with workouts.
Show us, girl. Right? Lead us to the promised land. What exercises do you have up your sleeve and how are we going to be involving the chair?
Okay, so we're going to do 4 exercises, very simple. I want us to focus on arms a little bit, so we'll just do some dips. I'll show you them first, and then we can go through 10, if that's all right.
Perfect.
So we're going to just do some little dips. You're literally just going to put your legs out, and you're going to drop your arms and back up, right? So you're just going to bend into it and back up. So the more you bend your knees, the closer you bring them to you, obviously, the more weight sitting in your legs.
Oh, the
further you put them out, the more work you're putting into your arms. Okay? So you choose how hard it is for you.
Let's get into that. I love the fact that you've also showed us how to do it right and how to do it wrong. So let's get into it. If I just hold the edge of my chair like that.
Hands on edge, feet a little bit forward. Move your bum straight off the edge there. Now, let's breathe properly at the same time, right? Exercise is all about breathing. So when you're going down, you want to generally be breathing in. And then when you push, you want to breathe out. All right, so that's 1.
But Robyn, what I see happening automatically to my elbows is that they go apart from each other. Is that good or bad?
Work on pulling them towards each other. You don't want them going out, because when they're going out, you're going to look at maybe pushing too much energy or pain into other muscles, right? So you're trying to exercise properly. You want to keep that 90-degree angle. Okay.
Stunning.
So how many are we on? I think that's 6. Let's go for 10. 7, 8, 9. There we go. Bend them a bit more. 10 should give you a burn.
Definitely a burn. I love that. So the arms have been worked out, helped out by the legs.
All right. So we have to also then look after the rest of our body. Then us women, we all like strong cores. Am I right? We want the stomachs to look good. So I'm going to move over just a little. Don't get in the way. Well, we've got these great little bar stools. We're sitting at the kitchen counter, whatever it is. Turn around sideways. Just get yourself a comfy grip and hold on. And we're going to do what we call a boat crunch. So a boat crunch is great. You know, if you look at a kid, they pull their legs up and they sit in a little cradle.
Yes.
We're going to do the same thing. And then you're going to extend it back out and bring it back in. So again, you need to breathe. We shouldn't be working on our sweat. We should just be working on those beautiful finite muscles. So when you have your legs up, you breathe in. And when you pull them out, you exhale.
Okay.
So, and out. And you're going to do 10 of them. Now, you don't want to put too much strain on your back, so don't go too far back. You should only be feeling this in your core. All right? Should be giving you a good burn. To do 10 of those.
Definitely. I'm already feeling my stomach muscles shaking almost because I'm engaging them all
Even
the way.
mine are. 9. Okay, 1 more. Let's go. There you go. Nicely done, ladies.
So there were 2 workouts already in?
Done. Anybody sweating?
No, not yet. Not yet.
So, you know, we've got the core, we've got the arms. We want to make sure that we get our legs in too. It's all about the legs. Generally, everybody goes for a squat. It's the best thing to do. But a squat doesn't necessarily target or focus as much. So we'll do a split squat, right? When you're putting your pressure into one leg, you're also then having to balance, which is core stability, which means you must also take a bit more time, breathe a bit more.
Okay.
So very simple. Leg up on the chair, move yourself as far forward as you need to be. You're just going to bend and come back up.
Okay.
Right.
And that's called a split squat.
Yes.
Now on Afternoon Express, you know, our viewers that watch all the time, we always are doing different variations and options when it comes to the squat. But I don't think we've ever tried a split squat. So let's try it together, ladies.
When you're doing something on one leg, it makes it a bit more challenging.
I'm telling you. Okay.
So this is something I generally say do 10 on each leg in a round. For now, I think let's just do 5. I don't want anybody getting too sweaty.
Yeah,
right?
I love it.
And again, focus on your breathing. So now you've got a balance, right? If you're not breathing properly, you're going to lose balance. So when you're doing a squat, you should be breathing. You should be going, and then you're coming up, out. Right, so breathe properly, hold your core, use your arms to help balance you, and breathe.
Inhale on the way down, exhale on the way out,
There
right?
we go. And last one, let's go for it. We want to do the other leg, guys.
Okay.
Gotta even this out.
It's also so interesting to see an accomplished athlete compared to me. You are so sturdy, and just the focus and the strength all the way down, all the way up is quite different to mine, because I do find myself losing balance and almost shaking on the way up and down as well.
Okay.
Is there any way that we can almost channel that energy and balance ourselves more?
Breathe.
Okay, just breathing.
Literally, I promise you, with every exercise I do, I focus so hard on my breathing and concentrate on how that breathing helps me stabilize the rest of my muscles as we go through it.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's incredible, the importance of breathing here. It's able to take just a basic workout up so many notches. So let's do the other leg to balance out again and even out the workout.
100%. We're going to go 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10?
5. I still got to talk after this, queen. Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go for 6 for luck.
Yes.
Nice.
Love that. Thank you so much. That was easy, and I'm sure so many South Africans right now can identify with these workouts, because I'm pretty sure that you might not have a bar stool like we have here on our loft, but whatever stool you have, or couch, I suppose, you're able to almost get that balance and get that strength with anything. Thank you, ladies, so much, and thank you for joining us. Not only models, but they also signed up to be workout buddies. Love it. Now, whether you do it alone or with someone, or even in a group, all you need is a chair and 10 minutes of your spare time within your day, and grab that wholesome workout. past year certainly has not been easy. With the current COVID-19 pandemic, we've been tested physically and mentally, having to deal with a range of emotions and still try remaining positive after all. Almost a year later, with our emotions still being tested, we chat to Dr. D on how we can remain mentally positive during these difficult times. We also have Nicole Austin joining us in studio again as our health correspondent. Nicole, it's always lovely having you.
It's great to be here and talking about such a topical issue. This is not just COVID, this is a mental health pandemic.
Absolutely, and speaking to Dr. D, our clinical psychologist, I mean, there's no doubt that the past year has tested us all, from job losses, pay cuts, and the health of our loved ones. But how does the pandemic such as this affect one mentally?
Look, there is a mental health pandemic, and the emotions and the anxiety is as contagious, actually. And it's been sparked a lot by a whole lot of uncertainty. You know, people don't know when the future is. There is hope now on the horizon with the vaccine, and it's certainly, people are becoming a little bit more optimistic, but it's been hugely, hugely challenging. Personally, relationally, familiarly, and societally. And you spoke about losses. You know, when there's loss, there's grief, and there's been loss on a number of fronts. Loss of jobs, loss of money, loss of certainty, loss of predictability, loss of a sense of self even for having to take up different roles. You know, loss of connection, loss of physical contact. So all of these losses have generated a lot of issues concerned with mental health. And if you had a predisposition before and you had any mental health challenges before, the chances are that these have become exaggerated, and also different issues have been generated in all of us. There's been an increase in the divorce rate. There's been a definite increase in anxiety and depression across the board, even with children. And the fear and uncertainty is just causing havoc. I want to say that some of that is a normal reaction to a hugely traumatic situation. How are you expected to feel in the face of all of this? Yeah. But it has got out of control. And by out of control, meaning that it affects your functioning, it affects the way you relate to other people, and it affects your capacity to work. And if that persists, if there's duration and extent with those kind of things, then you have to seek some kind of professional help or connect with one of the many helplines that have just sprung up and been of real assistance to so many people.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. This pandemic has thrown us into a completely different social paradigm, and we've been removed from our social connections. And I think this has had a devastating effect on us psychologically. You know, it's almost like a switch has gone off, and, you know, we're now in a dark place socially. And being in this dark place mentally, socially, dealing with the stress and anxiety, how does that start to affect someone's overall health and well-being?
Nicole, I like the way you're talking about it. You know, do we have to adapt to this new normal? The danger is that there's going to be a huge increase in post-traumatic stress disorder. And that's often because the reactions that we've been talking about and the emotions that you mentioned in the beginning, that our natural tendency is just to kind of push them down. To say, listen, it'll be better in the morning, or I'm having a bad day, or everyone else around me seems to be coping better than I do, which generates, in addition to the feeling, it makes you feel inadequate and not good enough and shameful, as well as the feelings that you are experiencing. So there is a danger of the development of post-traumatic stress disorder if these emotions aren't dealt with. And we say the first thing is you have to name it to tame it. If you want to tame it, you have to name it. So counterintuitively, instead of trying to say, I'm okay, Jack, I'll be fine, or it's just a stage, you actually have to confront those emotions and recognize what you're feeling like. To heal it, you've got to feel it. You have to face it in order to embrace it. These may be slick one-liners, but they're really true.
Dr. D, then what can we do quite practically to deal with our stresses, anxiety and depression during these difficult times? More than just, you know, those catchy one-liners.
There are quite a lot of skills strategies, reaching out mechanisms that you can do to prevent the development of post-traumatic stress, and maybe even to promote some possibility of post-traumatic growth, possibility that we might have learned something from this. But before we go into that, I want to say everyone's talking about new normal. I prefer to talk about now normal instead of new normal, because I think that it's a normal for now. I don't think that we have to adapt to all of this forever for the long term. I think there are things that we can take away, but I mean, we are going to be able to have physical contact again. We are going to be able to go back to our jobs again, you know, maybe not in exactly the same way, but it's not as if we have to kind of reinvent ourselves forever. It's what's going on now.
Dori, we know that it's important to always stay positive. How can we mentally try and remain positive?
I think that's a very important question, partly because I have a problem with positive. You know, in the beginning, we were getting all these emails, you remember, and the WhatsApp. Yeah, there are dolphins in the canals of Venice. Can't you see that the sky is so much clearer? There are lots of birds. In other words, just be positive. And, you know, don't worry about what you're going through. Keep the positivity. And sometimes that meant for some people a denial of going through what they needed to go through, to seek the help, the healing power of support.
Yes.
Not necessarily from professionals, but finding your tribe. You know, who do you talk to and how do you talk to them? You listen to understand. You don't listen to respond. You listen without being an echo chamber. You know, that kind of support is essential. Self-compassion is essential. Things like good nutrition and sleep and exercise are essential, and most especially establishing a routine is essential because it compartmentalizes your day in a way that is more predictable when the outside is so unpredictable. But in order to do these things, you have to say, I am going through a lot. So are many other people. What am I going through? And what are some of the skills and strategies I can employ to prevent the kind of build-up that might manifest later on as post-traumatic stress if I don't have the permission and the time and the space to deal with what I'm dealing with now.
Absolutely, Dr. D. I think that you have quite eloquently ticked all the boxes when it comes to helping us practically manage our stresses and anxiety. And I mean, Nicole, wouldn't you agree, as a pharmacist and someone, you know, as a health correspondent, everything Dr. D is saying?
Completely, and I think it's this fine balance that we have to find, that yes, we need to focus on hope and positivity, but also out of the pain that we've all gone through, we've certainly developed a large amount of resilience, and that makes us tougher and stronger and able to handle other challenges which are inevitable with life.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Dr. D. This conversation was so incredibly impactful and powerful here on Afternoon Express. We definitely appreciate it. Goodbye.
Great pleasure.
Do you have a survival story? Well, we want to hear from you. Please do share your survival story with us, from surviving a failed parachute to escaping a lion attack. We want to hear your story. Immuenza is giving away 5,000 Rand a week for 5 weeks. And all you have to do is reply to the Immuenza competition post on the Afternoon Express Facebook page or Twitter page and tell us your survival story and what protected you using that hashtag Immuenza. The competition closes tonight, the 3rd of March, 2021 at midnight, and terms and conditions can be found on afternoonexpress.co.za. Help support your immune system for your next big adventure with Immuenza. We're welcoming back Tamara Snow onto our couch as we're about to find out a little bit more about your I Am movement.
Absolutely, Pali. So look, I'm really excited about this I Am movement. For me, it started when I was a young kid. My mom impressed upon us the importance of those words, I am. And whatever you put after those words is what you're going to step into. It's what you're going to believe, right? So I am worthy, I am loved, I am enough. So what I want to do with this movement, I feel literally like it is my heart's work. What I want to do with this movement is I want to inspire other people. I want to take them on a journey of unlocking that I am power within them, so that essentially they step into their power more, and more and more, and we do it together.
So then, if so many South African women right now, they want to be putting a lot of positive building affirmations after that I am. Number one, how can they get involved, and how important then are affirmations just to start your day, end your day, and just clear that mind?
Yeah, I think affirmations are so important. It all goes back to internal dialogue. What are you saying to yourself? What direct and indirect messages are you saying to yourself? Because essentially, that's what you're going to believe, and that's what you're putting out into the universe, right? So affirmations are so important. If anybody, woman, man, wants to get involved with the I Am movement, wants to go on this journey with me of self-discovery, wants to unlock that I Am power within them, then they can follow the movement on Instagram. It's at iam.themovement.
I'm here for it, Mzansi. It's just that simple, you know. We were speaking about online love and finding love, but we all know the most important love is self-love. So I think that that's what's so important. Ladies, is this movement something that you're also hashtagging?
Definitely, definitely, because I think sometimes you forget who you are.
Yeah.
And so that basically reminds you of who you are. I am whoever, whatever you want to be. So it's quite a great reminder.
I love
the pressures at the moment in society and around us.
Yes.
It's so intense that we sometimes get swamped by the negativity. So to be able to remind ourselves how powerful and strong and capable we are, I'm just such a fan. I love the concept.
Thank you so much. I so appreciate this.
Very important. Well, Tamara, thank you so much for coming through onto Afternoon Express and sharing in this I Am movement. Very excited about that. But something else that's been very exciting that we started at the top of the show was the rap battle challenge. Finding out who's going to be walking away as the IC Queen. Is it going to be Team Nicole? Or, of course, is it going to be the cool Team Dumi? While the votes are in, I have been tallying up the poll, and finally, we have got the winner. Listen, ladies, you know, if we started on Twitter, Twitter was an absolute 50-50. So then we had to turn our attention over to Facebook, and Facebook was the real determiner. The winner, walking away as the Afternoon Express IC Queen, and of course, walking away with an incredible bag of Tropica IC, it is Chef Dumi! Girlfriend, I'll just be keeping this safe for you all the way over here. Don't worry about it. Ask me about it next week. Again, ladies, it's always such a pleasure, and I hope that we got over this hump together. But from us here on Afternoon Express, stay safe, happy eating, and good night, Mzansi. Make the most of glorious summer with your picnic favorites. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.